Well, hi everyone, it's Danny again here. I'm a sports executive at the Hurlingham Club, but I was also a tennis coach for a number of years, and I wanted to share some ideas of some exercises you can do when you don't have much space or equipment, which is perfect for the situation we're in now. I've already made a couple of videos, mainly focusing on what's known as plyometric movements, which are these very explosive movements that you need for tennis. But I wanted to share a few other ideas. Strictly speaking, these aren't plyometric movements, but they're still very good for your speed and power around the court. Now, I explained in one of the other videos that tennis is essentially a one-legged sport. You always push through one leg more than the other when you're executing your tennis shots. So a lot of this will be using just one leg for these movements. Now, before you try any of this, make sure you're fully warmed up and not carrying any injury. And specifically for this, it is important you wear your tennis trainers, because a lot of this is going to involve leaping around side to side. You need to have lots of stability on the lateral movements. And running shoes are only designed really for you to move forwards. Tennis shoes are designed for lateral movements. They'll help reduce the chance of you turning your ankle. So make sure you're wearing right footwear. Okay, so you're fully warm, and we're going to try some exercises. All you need is a line, and I've got a line behind me on the ground here, and this is very good for your balance and your explosivity. So the first exercise, standing on one leg, get your balance, and we're just going to hop from one side of the line to the other. I'd recommend around 10 seconds or so. But make sure you're always changing the leg you do it on and the direction you're facing. So you can also do it going forwards and backwards. And the aim obviously is not to touch the line. If you're struggling with that, you can do it on 2 feet. That's a perfectly legitimate way of doing this as well. So we'll do it on 2 feet now, obviously much easier. And that would be a good way of doing the warm-up. Now, as you try these type of movements, you could work in a circle. There are all sorts of different ways. You could go in a square. You always want to change the direction you're moving on to practice all the movements that you might simulate when you're playing tennis. Okay, so we've got those. Now, once you've tried a few of those and they're quite tiring, you can do some other little bits and pieces with a racket in your hand. I'll demonstrate. Now, as easy as it sounds, try standing on one leg and just shadowing your tennis shots. So as I stand on one leg here, I just shadow my forehand. And I do that about 6 times. I also make sure I do it on the other leg. So I've just hit an open stance forehand. This is a closed stance forehand. This is a closed stance backhand. And I'm just trying to hold my balance the whole time while I do it on one leg. And now an open stance backhand. So for a right-hander, this means I've got my weight on my left foot. And you can work through 8 to 10 repetitions of each of those. That'll take some time. But if you're in fairly good shape and you want to try something a bit more advanced, try this. This is actually quite difficult. So I've got a little marker on the ground, which I'll use as my point of reference. And I'm going to hop around this marker while shadowing my swing. So for an open stance forehand, I move out, I swing, and then I hop in front of the marker. My closed stance forehand, I've got my left leg now, I swing, I hold my balance, and then I hop around the marker. My closed stance backhand, again hopping to the side, I swing, come around the front, and my open stance backhand out to the side, swing, and hopping around the front. And obviously you can do sets of 4 or 6 of each of those, depending on how you feel. So these are, you could create a workout of 15 to 20 minutes just by doing lots of different variations of that. But I would also encourage you finally, when you're out running, on your daily exercise and you're going for a jog, try not just to sprint in a steady pace the whole time. try to break up the jogging with bouts of sprinting. Even if it's just 5 or 6 seconds, if you can't go fully maxed out on a sprint, just go a bit faster for 10 seconds and a bit slower for 10 seconds. And also add in side steps. I know it'll look a little strange if you're on the pavement and you're doing this, but just side step 10 times. So for those who don't know, so this is a side step and this is the other way. You can cross over as well. So this is a crossover and this is coming back the other way. Sometimes when I'm out running, I even run backwards for 10 seconds. I know it sounds a bit odd, but it's very good at just making sure you're balanced and stable when you're moving in lots of different directions as you would around a tennis court. So I hope this is useful for you. Go out and try some of these exercises. The great thing about all of these movements is you can adjust them to fit your own level of fitness and your own level of mobility. Final reminder, make sure you're warm before you try them, make sure you're not carrying injuries, and make sure you've got the right footwear. Go and have some fun.